It's our mock draft tracker. It's back, presented by Crestron. Post-combine mock drafts right here, and a couple of new names that we could keep an eye on too. So that'll be fun. We go to our friends over at NFL Media. First, Charles Davis, friend of the program. J.J. McCarthy, the 6th overall pick to the Giants out of the University of Michigan, national champion. And Paul, he checks all the box from an intangible standpoint.
Yeah, there's no question in terms of his confidence, his leadership skills, his smarts. There's so much to like about him, and that's why we heard out at the Combine, John, his interviews went incredibly well. We had him in the media session, and he just blows you away.
Basically Captain America.
He really seems like Joe Quarterback, right?
Yeah, he does.
Now, when you try to pick him apart, as everybody will do as they figure out where his value is, you say, well, you know what? He's got a small hand size. Is his accuracy on the deep ball as high as it necessarily wants to be? Is he as big and strong, strapping a frame as you want your typical pocket passer quarterback, although he can move?
6'2", 219, that's what he weighed in at.
You know, so there are some things you got to consider. Also, the fact that he didn't start for 4 years. He only started for 2 years, I believe, at Michigan. And they're primarily more of a power running team. You know, so there are things that you're going to want to see with him. For him, he's probably more of a projection than a production guy.
Yep.
And that's where you have to weigh the equation.
He is mobile. He can run. He can move in the pocket. He's very accurate in the intermediate areas, likes to throw it over the middle of the field. And again, won a ton of games. So he's a guy that I know could sneak into the top 10 here as these quarterback-needy teams try to fill spots
he shot up the board at the Combine more than anybody else.
And again, the Giants do have Daniel Jones, but if they believe that, you know, he could eventually be an upgrade, they could always consider going quarterback at that spot. All right, let's go over to our second mock draft. That's Lance Zierlein. You can find his interview with me on the John Settle podcast, by the way. Check that out. He is the Giants selecting J.C. Latham, a mammoth right tackle out of the University of Alabama. 6'6", checked in for him, a svelte 342 pounds. This guy's a tank.
He has the body of a power guard in the NFL, but most people think he can also play tackle.
Well, 35-inch arms, Paul. Whew.
Length, frame, athleticism, nasty disposition. Only played 2 years, though, at Alabama. Let's keep that in mind. You know, he's not, again, another full 4 or 5 year kind of program guy. Only a couple years, but the power, everything about him is something to like. The one thing, of course, at that size, you may not be as quick off the ball at the snap. You may not be quite as athletic on the move as maybe somebody will want you to be. But there's an awful lot to like here, and a lot of people think he's got to be one of the top 3 offensive linemen taken in the draft.
Yeah, so many offensive tackles, maybe 7 or 8 could go in the first round of this draft. It's a very deep class, and much like McCarthy with Jones, the Giants have Evan Neal at right tackle as well, so that Latham pick would be interesting. That's our mock draft tracker, brought to you by Crestron. Thanks for being with us. For Paul, I'm Schmeelk. We'll see you next time.